Alright, let's see if this gets the ball rolling. Come on, work with me here. Hey, there we go. Welcome everyone, what's good? I hope you guys are all doing well. Happy New Year. Hope it's been fantastic if I haven't seen you since then. We are back with some cool stuff. I just wanted to do a live, touch base with you guys, kind of recap some of the stuff that's been going on. We just had a little skiff, Congress had a little skiff meeting. Renee, what's good? Yeah, UFOs, man. The Congress just had a little skiff meeting, so we're going to talk about that. We have video of them coming out of it. We can kind of dissect what they're saying. And I want to kind of go into the jellyfish UFO a little bit more because okay, it's giving me that audio warning. I don't know what's been going on with my stuff. I need to upgrade my equipment. Harold, what's good? Welcome. Renee seen a metallic octagon shape extraterrestrial alien UFO starcraft. Damn. Cindy, hello. Looked like a lunar module, but no protruding arms, legs. Was 12 years old. 1978, San Francisco. Spellbinding neighborhood. Kids were mystified. I can imagine. And that's what I mean. This stuff has been going on for so long. Yo, what's good, S. Simon? Honestly, a cig and some tea or coffee, or a cig or something. Alright guys, let's jump in here. So I wanted to bring up the jellyfish UFO because again, a lot of people are analyzing it, but I saw something on Twitter today that I can't unsee, and it's kind of funny but kind of creepy. So we have people that are coming in and actually trying to sharpen and kind of highlight this image, right? And they're pointing out little things that they're noticing. To be fair, I went through this person's post. I'm not sure what they're highlighting with these. But as I began to look in personally, I started to like see a face with like this cloak. This is the jellyfish, mind you, right? Let's go back. I'm just going to show you. They're doing this frame by frame. This is that jellyfish UFO. Let me make sure I have the chat here on the side. Perfect. Juan, what's good? Ooh, from Texas. Awesome. But y'all look, this is the frame by frame. Like people are coming in, we're analyzing this video, right? This is a still. And they're clearing it up, and I'm starting to see this face, right? And now, John, you seen stuff yourself? Yo, I'm telling you, Renee, it looks like a flying extraterrestrial alien jellyfish entity, right? As opposed to like a craft, like it is an entity itself. I agree with that 100%, right? Because now look at this, and after I zoomed in and started seeing this face, someone pointed this out, and yo, I'm muted. 1 second. Test. Okay, we should be getting audio coming through. Sorry about that. It has been happening all day. It's not just for the live stream. Sorry about that. But Lauren, thank you very much and welcome to the chat. If I'm still muted, let me know. I hope it's good, guys. It looks good, so. But with this thing, I never know. Alright, it looks like it's actually processing. Fine. Let's try. Let's go a little forward. Excellent. Yes. Okay, good. I reviewed it briefly. Awesome. Yeah, it let me know, but it's iffy sometimes. So, as we go in, I start seeing this face. Someone post this, y'all. I cannot unsee this. Tell me what you guys think. Fender, what's good? So good to see you. Welcome. So, thank you, AI Gaming. I appreciate you. It does look like a gremlin. Ugh. So, this is the zoom in of it, right? And he's wearing Beats by Dre, I'm dead. The person drew this face, like with where the mouth would be and the eyes and like the head, and I cannot unsee it. I can't unsee it. Look. I definitely see the eyes, right? A groove where the nose would be. I definitely see a mouth and a bulbous head. It does look, it's an live streams when I have better equipment. Galactus, oh hell no. Always love hearing what you have to share. Thank you, friend of Fox, I appreciate you. But yeah, I thought this was wild. I wanted to start with this one because the jellyfish is like really big right now. And once this person drew this face, I'm like, bro, that's the face I was seeing even in this post. I couldn't unsee it. I think it's wild. Look at this thing. I think it's so wild. Why? I'm so sorry, guys. You can disconnect, remove this iPhone. I don't want to remove it. I want it to work and function properly. We're gonna have to go through this a little bit quicker. Luckily, the next part we're gonna be doing some listening to the reps, the senators, and Congress is actually looking into this. It just looks like a cloaked, seated jet. Huh, Cindy, I didn't think of that. You know what's really interesting? Honestly, before we move on, actually, I love that you mentioned that, Cindy, that it could be man-made. I think it's made of metal. It looks like robotic, mechanical. There was another post that kind of saw something else that I could kind of see in their image. Let me look. Let me look at it. Hold on. This one here. So, but real quick, I want to touch on the fact that Cindy mentioned that it could be man-made because oh no, this was not fake. This is what we're talking about. Like, this is, even the government's talking about this. AJ over on the Y Files, I was watching his live stream the other day, and he was talking about this. He had brought this up, and I found it interesting because the sphere UFO that we saw in Fleur last time was somewhere in the Middle East, and I believe it could have been Afghanistan, but I believe it was Iraq. It didn't specify when I looked at the file, so I don't know if we ever actually got a place, but he mentioned if they were in the same place, if these two UFO events took place in the same place, there could be something else going on. And to what Cindy said, could this be man-made? Could this be a secret operation? This be tech that they are working on that base? Or are there several entities on that base, and what are they doing there? It just raises more questions. You can see stuff hanging on off of it. I agree. So really quick, I want to show you guys this because before your generation is just so late to the game. You're actually less informed than we were and less believing. It's unreal how history unfolds. Hey, I can't say much of that. I can only speak for my generation. But someone pointed this out, and I hadn't seen it before. I saw the face that I showed you, but after they pointed this out, I eerily I see it. I don't know how I feel about it. So they were saying like how this is the head and over here is the eyes. I'm like, okay, like sure. But when I saw the arm and the leg, I started to see like an arm, right? And definitely a bent leg. Like that's the knee right there. And that would make this the foot. Right? So this would be the leg, that would be the foot. This would be like the arched back, and it's riding on this thing. Or maybe maybe there's two things riding on it. Anime Mecha, Ultraman. Anime come to life. That would be crazy. Stone Nails, welcome. You said the general. Yeah, I agree. Moogle, I'm the only guy who get. I appreciate you. I try. I mean, I just try to look at it like we don't know what the heck's going on. We don't know what's out there. I'm a little skeptical sometimes when I see certain things, but I do believe something else is out there. I've seen enough myself to believe something else is out there. Immortal Nugget. How can they make out anything from that low quality? It's so bad. I mean, it is, but the thing is that it's FLIR camera. It's like this, the heat sensor. They're using all this technology, which kind of looks weird to us, but the people that analyze it can get good information out of this, which is how they can confirm or corroborate whether it's real or not. So, I mean, when people sharpen it, I do see stuff, and it makes me wonder. But this thing with the arm and leg kind of really threw me off because I'm more about the face. I definitely see like this. This makes total sense to me. I'm riding this. I see that. I don't know about you. Casper Site called it a transformer. Hey, robots in disguise. So, yes, I do think a good point would be if this and the sphere UFO were in the same location, kind of digging a little deeper into that area and see what the heck is going on, going in and out of our dimension. So it's really great that you mentioned that because If you've never seen the species before, to me it's clear from the first 2 minutes, going back to the 70s, these flying froggy things, I don't know, maybe the reptilians we hear about? Interesting. Gabe, welcome. Maybe it changes shape, possibly. Immortal Nugget, right? You see it? Sorry, I just can't. Like, I can't unsee the face. I'm glad you saw it. Joe Blow, it's interdimensional. I'm glad that you're mentioning this too, because Representative Luna mentioned this, and we're going to move on to this next point now, because I can get stuck here forever, especially with this damn face, especially after they drew it. I'm so mad they drew it so accurately, like where I see the features. I was like, God damn, he got it. A Super Saiyan pod. Could you imagine? It's Raditz. You know, Raditz is getting here. No, I'd be like, we don't have Goku, so we gotta do something. I'm just, I can't unsee it, and it's so creepy in so many ways. Because, okay, real quick, alright, I told you guys I can get lost in this, but it could be anything. We don't know what these things are. It almost looks like the eye is like sunken in, but still flesh covered, and it reminds me of something from like a freaking Silent Hill, and I'm not about it. I'm not about it. But I mean, maybe I am. I freaking love. Oh, could you Frieza? No. I'd rather have Raditz than Frieza. Frieza's crazy ass can stay where he's at. But let's. It is so. It is really cool. Let's move on to the reps, because they had a skiff, a secret. Not a secret. Obviously, we know about it, but it was a confidential meeting. Like, they couldn't disclose information from the meeting, of course, but I found that the way that they answered questions was very interesting. It might be a bunch of balloons. Oh wait, actually, let off nearby as a prank. Yes, thank you for saying that. Someone did post a balloon thing. I wanted to touch on that real quick. I didn't see an exact resemblance, but I do agree. Hold on. Right here. They could have been balloons for Eid, but like, towards the bottom, I kind of see that. But this just looks a lot more jumbled. The other thing is with the heat sensor, with it going on and off and, like, kind of turning transparent. I'm not fully buying into this one. Although I will say that there was one in Mexico that looked very geometrical. And I can say that I do believe that that one was a balloon, that it is a Mexican funeral balloon, which are very, very intricate and look like that. David Grush said he has some major news. Well, he already did. So we're going to jump into this after. I'm going to show you what the rep said, but just to kind of foreshadow, I am going to cover how I did a little bit before that secret meeting that David Grush had, that the Daily Mail went and confirmed and corroborated some more of the information that I shared with you guys. Someone asked in the comments, I did see it fly by, but I couldn't find it when I went to go reply the other day. Someone asked if I was at the meeting. No, I was just able to get this information before it was removed from the internet. And then luckily for me, Daily Mail went and confirmed what was going on. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about that, and I'm actually going to read to you the full account of what happened at that meeting and exactly what David Grush said. Who's that Pokemon? Sky, that's funny. The balloons would explain the transparency seen in the video, honestly, especially through infrared. They are transparent in the frequency of light. Yeah, I do believe the ones in Mexico were definitely funeral balloons, but I'm still a little iffy on the balloon for the jellyfish. But to what Human Scourge said, that's very, very possible. I'm going to keep an eye on this and look more into it, and then of course, if we get any more information or confirmation, I will update you guys as soon as possible. What I will say is that the witnesses that gave this to Jeremy and told him about it, and the people involved in this, do seem very convinced about this one. And usually they're trying to debunk. So that's why I don't know yet. I saw that balloon at Sky Tours earlier. I don't believe the debunk. It is too fast. It is too fast to be a balloon. See, so many good points. I mean, granted, we don't know for sure. I can't analyze the video the same way a professional can. So I am believing them at their word. Now, let's jump into this because if not, we're going to stay here for hours and then the computer's going to die and we're never going to get into it. If it's caught on multiple sensors, more information to rule things out. Agreed. And welcome, Snack Entity Yum. So, we're going to start with Jared Moskowitz. I'm not going to maximize it because I learned last time that when, agreed, what is it? When I maximize it, you guys lose sight of it. But this is after their skiff that they had. And thank you to Jordan Clifford. And thank you to UFOB _ on Twitter for compiling this video and putting it together. I think it's very interesting how they answer these questions. They had this skiff about UFOs, UAP. And I will say it, as you guys have mentioned, and as Luna mentioned, Harold, thank you very much. I appreciate you. Interdimensional beings. So let's take a look at what they have to say after this meeting. Dive into their words because words are important.
Yeah, I'll
make sure you guys can hear it. Okay.
Okay. Did you hear anything that you didn't know? Are you being frustrated by this, like some of your colleagues are?
Well, obviously, look, the process is extremely frustrating, but actually, this is the first real briefing that we've had that we've now made, I would say, progress on some of the claims Mr. Grush has made in his complaint and some of the claims he provided to Congress. This is the first time we kind of got a ruling on what the IG thinks of those claims. And so,
Inspector General.
This meeting, unlike the one we had previously when we did this briefing, this one actually moved the needle.
Very good.
So I love to hear this. Of course, they don't all share this sentiment. They don't all share the same thought about it moving the needle, but they all do agree that it was the first step. And I love and appreciate this in what he said because he's without telling us what happened in the meeting, he's confirming that they confirmed to him what David Grush is saying. So with each answer from these Congress people and from these gifts that we're getting, I really get a sense of feeling that David Grush knows what he's talking about. He may not know everything, but that goes into the compartmentalization of the information, which is something we'll hear about in just a moment here.
Will lead to more public hearings.
Oh, I think this one's going to lead to a lot of things. I mean, there's a lot of new questions and a lot of new.
Do you think it's going to lead to other public hearings? I love this answer.
This one's going to lead to a lot of things. There's a lot of new questions and a lot of new areas to ask and poke in based on what we got in this meeting.
So, I love that. Sorry, in my opinion, that is foreshadowing. I'm sorry. I'm not going to keep breaking this every second. I promise. I love his answer.
Does give us a sense of what new questions you have?
Well, right. So let me just give you a hypothetical because I'm not going to share anything from a classified briefing. But if someone makes 10 claims and then someone says, well, we didn't look into all 10 because they weren't all in the report, but hey, we found these 6 very credible based on it, well, then you would want to go attack those 6. That's what I'm saying. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
And that, to me, shows that the Inspector General is taking this seriously. And while Grush may not have made every claim to the Inspector General that he did to Congress, he made enough of them that the Inspector General was able to confirm to Congress several of the claims Grush made to them, which is very powerful because the Inspector General is actually interviewing these witnesses that David Grush has. Welcome, Spanky Cool.
What do you know now that you didn't know when you wanted?
I just think that most of the American people.
Welcome, Olavidin and Harold, and I think I already said how you guys, but still welcome anyway.
Conceal as much information as possible, both from Congress and to the general public.
So
I ask,
essentially, this is a cover-up. And Spanky, to what you're asking, what's being said, is that we're getting confirmation that David Grush is honest and truthful, and we're getting confirmation that there is a government cover-up. They're trying to keep the general public and even Congress from this information, and we're going to learn a little bit that they're compartmentalizing the information so that even when Congress goes to look, they can't get the full answer. So what these meetings are doing are allowing them to piece together who to ask what questions to, if that makes sense.
Specific questions and was unable to get specific answers. And so that's a problem, and we're not going to stop until we get the truth.
So do you think you're not getting
Amen.
these answers because they won't tell you or because they don't?
Well, I think what you see is a very compartmentalized effort.
Mm-hmm.
So by compartmentalizing the information to such a degree that if you don't ask the specific question to the
To the right
specific
person.
that has that piece of information, so we could take a puzzle
It's
with
brilliant.
100 pieces and disseminate it to 47 people. So unless you ask the right person for the right piece of the puzzle, you're not going to get an answer, and that's what's happening here.
And
Nothing that I can disclose. Thank you.
so they're literally breaking up this information to the point where it's almost
So this is what I'll say.
impossible.
I'm going to reiterate, we can't talk about specifics and what we got into.
I love her.
But
I
what I
love
can
her.
tell you is what Gresh shared with me in an unclassified setting that I firmly believe in. I believe that he's telling the truth. I think that he is a credible witness. And what I can also say is one thing in particular that really caused me to be concerned about this whole thing is that Gresh had stated
You've
to
been
myself,
venerated.
Representative Burchett, and another member
Right,
on the
Coots.
phone that there were people that were hurt hiding this information and keeping this information safe.
Sorry, I just want to pause to what she said because it's very important, and it goes to what Harold is saying about them calling us kooks. People have also been penalized. People have been harmed. People have been threatened. This isn't just a cover-up in the sense that they are giving misinformation and trying to hide the facts. It is a cover-up in the sense that they are willing to harm people and their families. This is monstrous. So, to me, what these congressmen are verifying is Gresh's allegations are real. We are not alone. We do have crashed ships. All right, we don't know what their skiff just confirmed to them, but because they can't say it, but they're all letting us know what Grush is saying is confirmed, and he is a credible witness. So even though we don't know what's being said, we can now really go back to everything Grush said and say, hey, this is what's going on. Like, Congress is going in and confirming that what Grush is saying is what's going on. Like, this is the ultimate confirmation for me. I love it. I love it.
We're trying to conform with this
CC7 said we're
information.
hurrying up
What I
to
can
it.
tell you is I believe that claim after now leaving.
How much
And that's all I'll say on that.
Do you think that the
She's
administration
gorgeous,
is
I
sending
agree.
the right people? Do you think that you guys are actually talking to the right people in these classified?
I think that they are sending the correct people on paper. However, there is, and it's become
It's
evident
the
that
tactic.
there is an overclassification and that we are continually being stonewalled. My one concern is that we are authorizing money that is supposed to be spent on certain programs, and yet
Gabe,
there is
it
compartmentalization
coincides
in
with
which
a
Congress doesn't
lot
have
of
access to oversee those
texts,
programs, and that's a
which
problem.
is a whole different topic to get into, but I love that you mentioned that.
I feel the same. I think that I'm pretty much at the same space that I was. This entire process has been.
Joe Blow, we made a deal with Emerther beings a while ago. Beware of Orion's belt. I just want to say, it just reminds me of Men in Black. But, Gabe. I said Gabe. I'm sorry if it sounds like Babe. Sorry. I did hear a very, very, very long time ago when I would research this before the internet became what it is now, like circa 2007, 2008, that I think it was Eisenhower made a deal, and it was a set number of humans for technology, and that a lot of countries have this deal set up, which is like a whole conspiracy, which we're not getting into, but it's funny that you mentioned that, because I've seen some things.
Facts do we have? Again, the credibility of the witnesses is incredibly important, and I think that we have very credible people.
How much of this is the
Andre, I still don't understand how people think that.
We have that are dark programs that we need to be very careful about letting that information out. Some of
And
that
this is
can be
important right here,
attributed
too.
to what people have said, versus this conversation about Rush and some of the claims he made in the open hearing about non-human bioweapons.
You know, as of right now, we didn't get into the specifics of that in there, but what I will say is that it has become apparent that there is a movement, whether it's within the intelligence community or not, to prevent us from finding out more information on this.
Full-
and so we are
full
going
scale
to
cover-up.
do what we need to do as investigators to continue to pull on whatever strings and see where they lead. I think it's incredibly important to listen to the specific words that Grush uses. You know,
Here
Grush
goes.
never said extraterrestrial or alien. He said interdimensional. I think that that's incredibly important because those are the types of things that when we go in there, we, you know, there's just certain things that I think that it's important that you guys listen to on that.
I'm definitely funded.
Luna may have just let the cat out of the bag, and I love this, right? Because she's saying, like Grush said, confirming that these are interdimensional, when in fact they are not interdimensional. Well, I mean, we don't know if they're interdimensional, but he didn't specifically say that. He said non-human intelligence, right? He's been talking about non-human intelligence because he hasn't wanted to pin down a word because words are very important. So I do feel that either she has been talking to him, you know, or learned in there that they may just be interdimensional, which leads to what David Grush said in the secret meeting that we're going to cover in just a moment. So, bro, the fact that she's like, no, they're interdimensional, and I love Luna because she's learning about this and she's being so serious, but she's so casual with them being interdimensional that I feel like this is just a known fact for her. Like, it's a her, it's just like, and the way her eyes widen, watch. God, I love her.
Still voted against.
I'm this is UAP today. So thank you guys.
Can I get
Yes,
clarification?
one more.
You said interdimension. I mean,
Look at her face,
is
watch.
this term- Is this something that bends time and space? What are you getting at?
Did
I
you
think
see?
that Rush,
Did you see
when I
how
asked-
like
when I had talked
her
to
eyes widened a little and she like smiled, almost like shit. I may have shouldn't have said interdimensional, but let's go.
I'm this is UAP.
It's
Thank you
I
guys.
just
Can I get-
I
Yes,
see
yes,
it.
one more.
I see the subtleties in my opinion.
I mean,
Look, check it out.
what
Look.
is that term? Is this something that bends time and
The little
space?
smirk.
What are you getting at?
I think that Grush, when I had talked to him on whether these were specifically extraterrestrials or alien in origin, he said interdimensional. He refused to use certain terms, and I think that's incredibly important because I think that that's really the question we're all wanting to know, right? And so I'm actually going to have a sit-down conversation with him and ask him to come back and
Yes,
talk
they
to us directly,
do.
because it seems that we are getting more information from the source than going into a skiff and then not being able to.
It really will put us in our place in the universe, and that's why people are scared of it.
Understand if it's interdimensional?
I think that we can understand it. I think that it's just it's an approach, right? I mean, like, remember, we just now
That's what I wanted to get to. That is probably my favorite
First time
part
in
of the
history
answer.
at Congress.
I truly feel that Luna officially knows more than she's letting on, and she has to. And you'll see why, right? Like, we see why. We see them trying to break down their ability to even get to the truth. But the way he's like, do you think it's like hard to? She's like, we can understand it, as if like she's like, no, I got it. Of course we can get it, and I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Him and ask him to come back and talk.
Are
to
they
us
us from the
because it seems
future?
that
That's
we
a
are
really
getting
good
more
point.
information from the source than going into a skiff.
It's a really
and then
good
not being
point.
able to tell
That's a
you
really
what's
good
Is this
question.
stuff that we just as humans might not be able to understand if it's
CERN opening the portal. I would love to talk about this, and maybe this is something we could do on the channel. I could do a different type of videos. Maybe I'll change up what I do Tuesdays and Thursdays, since I do UFOs Monday, Wednesday, Friday. CERN is a different topic that I can get into because CERN, oddly enough, I don't know if you guys know this, because there are conspiracies out there that we don't know what they are, but CERN ties into the Mandela effect and conspiracies about the end of the world and like 2012 and like black holes, Sally Fields versus Sally Fields, interdimensional jumps. There's a whole world in just CERN, a whole world of theories and conspiracy theories and possible facts that we could go down. That's a separate like occasion, maybe another live, maybe a whole video, but I do feel that CERN does a lot. I'll just say that. Trevor, I'm sure a large portion of society would scoff at the ideas. I think it's just we're stuck in our ways, and in many ways we're still primitive. In many ways we're still primitive. welcome everyone. If I didn't get to see you in the chat, welcome. I appreciate all of you being here. CK, I did see your query about them being us from the future. Well, it's very, very possible. It's likely because they don't want to interfere. I don't think so because I don't feel that they would even let the government interfere with them. I feel that time travel can be very sensitive. Although time traveling interference could also explain Mandela effects, deja vu, and other strange things that we don't have real answers for. All right, let's jump back in here.
Dimensional?
I think that we can understand it. I think that it's just it's an
Everything
I mean,
interesting. Everything interesting. It's not that CERN caused the Mandela. One of the very early Mandela effects that we found out later was Sally Field, her name and her quote, "You guys, you love me, you really, really love me," which is how she remembers saying it. But the quote is now, "You love me, right now, you love me," and even she says, I don't know what the hell that means. And now her name is Sally Field without an S, but it used to have an S at the end. And we can even see old videos of like the director's thing when she was an actress and it said Sally Fields. Oddly enough, her brother is the main person at CERN who like did everything and does everything. So that's like a whole, I mean, I can get into that at a whole other time, but there are connections there for sure. I like how she said it's possible facts. Doesn't call people crazy. Agreed. All right, let's jump back in here.
Remember, we just now for the first time in history really had Congress have
Those are from
whistleblowers
I
before credible
can't.
that we're telling the entire world that there is something other than human life forms. Grush said that those were interdimensional beings. He refused to use extraterrestrial and alien. I think that's important to note, but I do have to go feed my baby, so thank you guys.
Thank you.
Oh, she's like, oh, that's so cute. Okay, sorry. She's like, I gotta go be a mom. But I try not to get into. Well, I mean, I don't mind going into the Mandela effect, but I don't dive into it because it is more the world of conspiracy, and I don't want to mix that with this right now because we're getting facts right now. Someone says the city of Baltimore is in another location. Interesting. I haven't been to Baltimore in a while, but that'd be interesting to see. I gotta go back to the States. Contacted human. Not on subject. Just wondering if you got my email. Very, very possible. I have to go. Actually, let me set a date. Today's Monday. Tomorrow when I wake up, I will go through all of them, and I can't confirm right now whether I received it or not. Sorry. Sydney Gardner. Yeah, that's a cool. That was a cool wrap up. It was really interesting. Sir, yes. When it first opened. Oh god, that ceremony in Sweden. I don't want to talk about it. That's a whole other video. Let's jump back into here. But Valerian, yes, I know exactly what the hell you're talking about. That whole thing, and they had like the demon. Oh no. Let's just press play. Not yet. That's another time.
More frustration. You put these guys and gals in a tough position. They're only. It's very compartmentalized, as we said. It's like looking down the barrel of a .22 rifle.
Contacted human. I will definitely look in the emails what I'm working on. Sorry, I keep pausing it, guys, but just to give you a heads up, I am trying to work on a website, and I hopefully I can get it done this month or next month. And I want the website to have a Dropbox area where you guys can enter large files. I'll tell you ahead of time, when that does launch, make sure that you have your name, date, and location so we can get as much information about the UFO as possible. And if you don't want your name disclosed, I don't have to disclose it, but for my filing purposes, please do put your name.
All they know is just right in that little circle.
Of course, you're welcome.
But no, it didn't disqualify anything I've thought in the past.
What comes out of this meeting? What do you do in response to this stonewalling?
Well, it's just whack-a-mole. You go to the next one until we get some answers. We got some...
Hey, Kay, I appreciate you, Gabe. I'm also very concerned.
Oh,
thanks for the stars.
Get from somewhere else about what was discussed.
Love this because he knows the secret meetings are leaking. Listen.
Pretty definitive stuff that I'm sure you all get from somewhere else about what was discussed. And
he knows. He cleared his throat. He goes, "You guys are going to get the information."
It made what I think more credible.
So they did tell you something.
The,
They did tell you-
the Hadron Collider, hard on.
When you first came out, we didn't learn anything new.
Well, we didn't learn anything new.
Renee,
It
yes,
just
there's a lot there.
verified what I thought.
Truth is always the way.
No, I think they're covering this thing up. That doesn't, these guys pretty much verified that. They,
So,
as I stated, I mean, it's not their attempt to do it.
so I sense the disappointment because I do agree they're not really. He says that the needle's not moving, and I get what he's saying because they're not really getting answers. But I do agree with the other representatives that the needle is moving, in that this is how the analogy that the earlier man used about the puzzle pieces. This is them collecting the puzzle pieces to get the full picture, to get the full puzzle.
By design, this issue is very compartmentalized.
So what does the investigation look like going forward? Is it more hearings? More
I think so, but it's got me focused on who we need to be bringing into the hearing.
Yes,
As
get
I've
the
stated,
right people
it's
in
not about
to
little
ask the
men
right
and flying
questions.
saucers. The issue is tens of millions of dollars on an issue that.
Now, I'm going to stop here real quick just to mention a lot of people don't like the fact that he's always saying little green men and flying saucers as if it's discrediting or anything bad. I get it. I don't like that he's using the terminology per se, but I understand the logistics, right? He's not trying to fight the fight of we want to know aliens, because he knows that they can then use that rhetoric to say, "Oh, you're just being crazy," or spin the narrative that they have been spinning on us. I appreciate you. Thanks for give a thumbs up. Thank y'all. Thank you very much, Chris. I appreciate you so much. Right, but he's well aware of how this gets viewed and how they can use our words against us. So he's making it about the practical things, which is why he's pushing it off as in saying, I'm not looking at the aliens when clearly they are. Look at Luna. She's like interdimensional. They're looking at it. But he wants to focus on the money so that they can't deny what he's saying on a ridiculous thing. It is our money. Okay? I pay a lot of taxes, especially because I'm out of the country and then in the country. You guys pay taxes. We pay tax every time that we get paid. We pay tax on everything. That is our money. What are they using it for? That is an answer that we all deserve the right to. And especially as Congress people, that is something that they should have oversight of. So he's using the right terminology to get the people that are harder to persuade, get them to have to answer, even if they don't want to. That's how I see it personally. My question is, how do aliens withstand the G-force? So, we're talking about interdimensional beings, possibly, as Luna said, and when we get into the David Rush secret meetings, we were hearing about the interdimensional objects with the spaceships being only 40 feet, I believe they were in diameter, but the size of a football field inside. I feel that it disrupts the magnetic field around the ship, and the G-force actually doesn't pass through. I don't know. I cannot speak to that. I mean, I'm not a scientist, right? I can't speak to the propulsion that they're using. I would assume that they have some form of electromagnetic bubble or sphere here that protects them from the G-force. Maybe they're moving through space-time in a way that we just can't fathom yet, and in that sense, they don't have to experience that. Maybe in that route that you take, there is no G-force pushing down on you, which is why it looks like it moves so effortlessly to us. Welcome, Eve. Welcome. I'm glad to have new people here. I appreciate you, Trevor. Thank you so much. Brain Cloud, welcome. Kate, thank you guys so much. CC777, Brad Skinner, y'all are amazing. Thank you. Let's go back in here. Sorry, it's moving quick, and I want to make sure I get all of y'all. But I also want to make sure that we get this information before the computer craps on us.
Told does not exist since 1947, yet they're spending that money on researching something.
So who would you prefer to bring in?
Well, last time I did that, our
super fans
selection
G suits
dwindled,
possible.
So I'm going to keep that pretty close to the cuff because they ended up getting told not to come.
So
So I'm
see,
gonna
and
keep
this
that
is why I
pretty close to the
believe.
cuff.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm going back a little bit.
Our
This is why I believe that he's choosing his words wisely. Listen to what they asked and what his response was.
47, yet they're spending that money on researching something.
So who would you like prefer to bring in? From
Well, last time I did that, our selection dwindled, so I'm going to keep that pretty close to the cuff because they ended up getting told not to come.
So
Good.
as they're trying to set up
Thank
these skiffs, these counterintelligence are removing the people that they want to interview. So now they're trying to keep it a little closer to the chest. Fender Fox, I believe it's a lot more than we can surmise. I believe that there are extraterrestrial beings, and I believe that they've come and go as they please. I don't necessarily believe that they have or want much to do with us. I believe maybe one or two races do. I believe there are multiple races of extraterrestrials, because if there's multiple races of us, why wouldn't there be? Why wouldn't each planet be different? That's its own thing. I do also believe in interdimensional beings. I believe that there's a combination of interdimensional beings and interdimensional presence. The presence of what some would call spirits and extraterrestrial interference has kind of shaped human history and even shaped our religion. I believe that we have portions of the truth all over the place. We just don't have the proper knowledge to kind of piece it all together in the proper way. But I believe that two things can be true. So I definitely believe that what David Grush is saying in his experience with possibly interdimensional beings, non-human intelligence, interdimensional technology. But I also think that there's UFO aliens, like extraterrestrials. I don't think that all of the aliens that exist are coming to visit us or give a crap or even know about us. I'm sure there's aliens that are so far that even with advanced technology they can't travel. I just feel that the universe is infinite, and as such there's infinite possibilities. And I look at it that I'm not religious. I'm more anti-religion just because of what religion has done in human history. But I respect, like, whatever, if you believe it, that's, your belief is your belief. But even if you think of it in a religious aspect, any god or gods or whatever, one thing or several things whatever you believe in, isn't just going to make us and then the entire cosmos is empty. That's so boring. I just say that I can't, as a human, I can't be so arrogant to think that we are the alpha and the omega. We're not the top we're not the top species. There's a whole cosmos out there. Get out of here. That's crazy. The very beginning of the book of Ezekiel. Right. So, but if you go by the book of Ezekiel, you're essentially looking at what the Sumerians had written down, because they're just changing the names of the Anunnaki to like Nephilim and stuff like that. All of the religions have a lot of they have differences, of course, but they have a lot of similarities, and which is why it makes me think that whatever we're seeing now influenced it, and any technology advanced enough is indistinguishable from magic, right? So to us back then, we would see a computer and we'd be like the magic box that had information. We'd be like, oh my god. Obviously we don't think that now. There's a lot of possibilities. The universe is infinite, and I feel like we just need more answers from I think we need this job to continue getting done so that we can better piece together who we are, what we are, where we're from, and why we're here. If we want those answers, we need these answers here. Whether we really need to get to the bottom of what we know, because we don't know what we don't know. And once we know this, there's going to be more questions, of course, but it'll be the next evolution, the next step. Like, oh, so if this, then that, and then we can go from there. I don't know why they're hiding it. So that the aliens told him that there is a God, and it's very possible, right? It's very possible that there is a God, and that the alien or that the aliens have a religion, or that each alien has their own religion, and they also don't know. right? And then, but then that goes to disclosure. How does that affect us? If they have religions and they have several religions, and then they come here with their religions, like, do we change ours? Oh, Nick, love the truth will be revealed this year. Let's hope so. All right, guys, let's get back in here. I appreciate you guys. I love y'all. Thank you for tuning in.
It's giving me a more clear perspective, a little bit more of a clear perspective. Before it's very blurry. Everything is extremely blurry. But I'm getting a little bit more clarity. Without saying anything that
Sorry. If there is a God, this is a personal belief as far as that. If there is a God, God is wholly indifferent, and not in the sense that he actually is it, or they, or it, God is actually indifferent, but in the sense of the concept of God we have, the way we think of it, like, if I pray to God, I'm going to get it. As if God is sitting here like, no, he's completely indifferent to what we're doing. If there is a God, God is making sure that the sun stays on, and that the cosmos is balanced, and that the planets don't collide into each other. Like, that's a bigger job, you know? So, yeah, I don't know. I do think that there's something. I just don't think it's what we consider it, or at least not in the way that we consider it. I mean, I do think God is love and radiant. If there is a God, of course it is all positivity, but it's not the religions that we have here that are man-made, mind you.
I will say that my worldview has not changed.
Are they okay? Then one more thing, and then I probably let you go. Are they obfuscating on purpose? Are they sending you to people that don't have the answers, or is it like Mr. Richard said, it's so compartmentalized that like you have to ask the right question of the right person? Is that
hopefully we get a good awakening?
Yes, that's exactly. I would say
many alleyways. Okay, I like that.
Probably right. He's correct.
So with this person,
we could also be God experiencing
the right
itself.
Questions that he was willing to put out there and give you something that you feel like you've learned something.
I feel like he gave a lot of clarity to me. I think that some people are looking for things. This was not the venue to determine those things, but for me, I got a lot of clarity.
Are you satisfied with the answers you got today? Or?
I'm not full. I mean, not fully.
Okay, it's very possible. I mean, it is very possible.
And that's the key thing.
I don't think that any of the gods we think of are what God is, because if any of us were right, the truth is so powerful that it outshines everything else. If any of us were right, the other religions would fall to that. And they haven't. No religion has fallen to another. Even during the Crusades, when they were destroying other religions, the other religions didn't falter. There has been no blinding truth so apparent that everything else has gone away. Like, think of science. Like, once we find a fact in science, like, we can't go back. Math, once you find out 1 + 1 = 2, that's kind of it. Everyone kind of like, all right, we'll concede 1 + 1 = 2. Like, sure, with some mathematic gymnastics, you can play the numbers around, but the consensus is that 1 + 1 = 2. So I feel that, again, maybe there is a God that sees, hears, and does everything, but I don't think we have the right answer. I think that the positive part of all of our religion put together is probably closer to what the right religion is. Like, strip all the negativity from every religion and like merge all the positive stuff, and I feel like we're there. It could also be a vibration thing. I mean, I used to meditate a lot, and I've felt and seen some wild things. I don't know, but it never shook me. Like, I never felt like, oh, I just felt like, all right, we're all one. And I like that.
Are we alone?
I heard multiple different things.
Do you feel as though they were more transparent?
Okay, I didn't see the answer, but I appreciate you. I'm going to look back and see.
I'm more concerned than I was going into the skiff. And I
shout out God been with me every day. Shout out to God.
And, you know, Mr. Grush,
or maybe God,
has made allegations that we're still trying to figure out the veracity of, and we haven't gotten the answers that we need.
And what do you mean more concerned? I mean, they stonewalled.
He came out more concerned.
More concerned.
My impression is that, unfortunately, I don't think that we're looking at the substance of his claims, and instead we're kind of dancing around kind of the procedural nature.
Because they
this
don't
claims.
want you
And
to
I
get
think
to the
that
substance.
We have to kind of delve into the substance and kind of figure out what's what. And we don't have the answers right now. And that's very frustrating to a member of the intelligence oversight kind of function that I'm part of.
Went to it good.
I mean, now, one of the things that Mr. Brush talked about in the opening.
Oh,
is
snack
that
entity.
there
That's
have
creepy,
been
but possible.
Non-human biologics. Is that some of the type of things that you guys have gotten into and that they have not been as forthcoming on?
Lights on
Aliens,
Gaming,
spacecraft,
welcome.
not human?
Look, everybody is wondering about the substance of those
Contacted
claims.
human, thank you, I
And
appreciate
until
you.
we actually look at those specifically and try to get answers about those claims are just going to be out there.
Yeah.
And so that's what we need to kind of delve into. And unfortunately, I just wasted time in there not
Getting the
figuring
answers.
out
See,
whether
I
those
get
were
where
true.
he's I
Instead,
understand
kind
why
of-
they get
kind of
disappointed.
dancing around the
I do
edges,
feel that the
talking
needle's
about
moving,
things
but I
that
get why they're
aren't
disappointed.
really as important to me. All that being said, I think that Mr. Brush has made some claims, and
Okay, that's a really good question. That goes back to what we were saying about religion. Once you become aware of a full truth, it can become blinding. Not everyone can be so fully corrupt. So, like, there have been whistleblowers before, and not just about UFO things, about many things in the world that shouldn't have been whistleblown on. But it's you see something, and it validates something so horrifying, sometimes real, that you can't let it go. Like I could probably do a lot of weird, shady crap that I wouldn't give a crap about if I know it's not really harming anyone. But if I'm working somewhere and I found out, like, my boss is like in Family Guy, when Mr. Peter Schmidt, when Peter, he bought the brewery and he wanted to change the bottle caps or the bottles with, like, some toilet something or something dirty and, like, disgusting that would get everyone sick, right? As an employee, I'd blow the whistle, because as much as I can tolerate certain things, but there's a limit. And once you push certain people to the limit, they're going to come out and they're going to come against you. Not everyone's going to hold your secret. And that's the problem. I feel that some agencies feel that they have enough power to corrupt and enough money to corrupt. But for some people, it's not all about money or corruption or anything. Like the David Grush secret meeting we're going to talk about, that we talked about before, but we're going to go more in depth. He did that for free. I hope that answers. I may have just been going off there, but let's hit play.
He needs to be treated with some respect.
Abe's Odyssey?
Was that asked about the non-human?
Oh, I missed that game. I love that game.
I can't get into the specifics of the hearing, but let's just say that all of us were very interested in the substance of his claims.
A secret is a big
Unfortunately,
responsibility.
I didn't get the answers that I was hoping for. I gotta go.
Thank
I'm
you,
sorry.
Mr.
Okay, thank you.
Ms. Luna, good morning. How are
Hey,
you?
how are you?
Over here.
Okay.
We got to talk about this one. Okay. So, I mean, does any of this go toward your conversation about trying to get this bipartisan bill? I mean, is there something that touched on this?
I mean, look, I think that the bipartisan bill came out of a discussion at a first hearing to ensure that pilots have an ability to report UAPs. There right now is no system for pilots or aviation personnel to report UAPs, whatever UAPs may be, and so the bill would actually do that. Obviously, we can't talk about the details of the briefing, but I think there was some interesting information, and so I think that this is a topic that I think is a national security issue, and it's really important that there's disclosure and transparency. I think that's what the public wants. I think it's also a very serious topic, and so we've got to just take it with seriousness. It is not a joke.
And without giving up state secrets here, we had a couple other members who were just here who said they were disappointed in what they were bipartisan, Democrat or Republican. But one member used the term that what they were exploring here were, her phrase, interdimensional beings. Is that something that we're dealing with here potentially?
I mean, I think it's easy to be disappointed when you don't get all the information.
Oh, crap,
that you want.
Luna.
I understand.
What'd you do?
I would have loved to receive much more information, but I think that it's reasonable to say that everyone that was in the room received probably new information. I certainly did, and I think it's interesting, additional information to continue the investigation and ask more questions. So definitely have more questions than less questions.
Does that term mean anything to you?
I'm not going to get into any terms. I just think that it's more important to focus on that this is a serious topic and it deserves serious attention. And I actually encourage also members of the media to continue covering this topic. I think that's
the
really important.
Keysman is not about Grush.
It is not a fringe topic.
He
It is
said
a
not the
serious
way he
national security
talks.
topic.
Continuing the investigation.
Raymond,
what
thank you so
sound
much.
like hearings is that? Like, what do you think?
Well, I mean, as the ranking member of the subcommittee that oversees obviously this topic, I would like to have more.
Scratchings,
So I think
Vince.
we've made that request already of the committee.
Raymond, the
And I
best way
think
to
that
send them
the
right now
majority
is via
requires,
email until
more
I
investigation.
finish the website with the little Dropbox link.
Look, I think it's public knowledge.
Yes,
that
where there's smoke, there is
everyone,
fire.
Folks, this is an interdepartmental effort as it relates to the agencies involved in oversight and in the UAP conversation. And so it's obviously not just the Defense Department, I think, which is at the center of this, but also our intelligence agencies.
Are you satisfied with the answers you're getting from the intelligence community, or what do you think?
I mean, I would not describe it that way. I understand that classification is complicated, and I certainly want more answers. But
He's being
sure,
very
I would
careful.
have loved to receive more information. But I would not characterize the discussion as not providing new information, and certainly interesting information.
One of your colleagues said that they seem to keep sending people who either intentionally don't know or intentionally not going to say, as opposed to just.
I would disagree with
That's
that.
not what. That's
I
not
think
what
that
they
you
said.
I think you have serious professionals.
That's not what they said.
That have
to be
long
fair.
distinguished
Oh my
records
God,
in
my
public
allergies.
service.
I'm so sorry, guys.
They're trying their best to navigate a very
That's not what they said. They
complex
said-
issue. And
That's his last question anyway. They said that it was compartmentalized, and so they had just had to ask the right people the right questions. It did not imply that, in my opinion, they did not imply that they were sending the wrong information on purpose. They all kind of came to the consensus. They all that I would check. Hey, I mean, Congress is all about him, and this to me kind of proves a little more because they were confirming what he was saying in his secret meeting. That's my personal take on it. But yeah, they weren't saying that they were giving the wrong answer on purpose. So I didn't like that last question. But that's what they had to say. So essentially, from what we saw here, they they are getting confirmation that at least huge portions, if the analogy used in the video we just watched is anything to go by, 6 out of 10, he would say. So like he reported 6 of them to the Inspector General, and the Inspector General confirmed 6 of these things, right? So it's not the exact number, but what they're saying is that they are getting confirmation that that Grush is credible, and that what he's saying is very likely a thing, but they're realizing how compartmentalized it actually is, and how not everyone has the information, and not everyone has the right information. I know. Thank you, the keys, man. Now, real quick, I just wanted to show that this did eventually go through a verification process. It wasn't just me. And like someone asked before if I actually went to the meeting, I was not there. I am in the Dominican Republic right now. I have not gone back to the States, even though I need to. So I was not at this meeting. I was made aware of it as it was happening. And as someone in the meeting was kind of leaking the information, eventually that account got completely deleted and removed. But by then we had gotten the pictures and grabbed the information that we needed to get. And luckily, someone on Reddit had the kindness and the time to sit there and transcribe the entire thing that was said by the original uploader who was there. And this is a picture from the original person who said that David Grush did this meeting in New York for bigwigs, and he did it for free. He even flew himself there. Phil is on the video on YouTube. Wait, what? What's going on? I mean, YouTube is getting kind of crazy. Have you ever seen California? Have you ever been to California? Oh, yes, I've been to California. I only moved to Dominican Republic last December. Well, wow. wow, we're in 2024. In December of 2022, but I lived in the States my whole life before that. And I've been California, Pennsylvania, New York, Florida, Maine, Ohio, Nebraska. I don't know, I've been a lot of places. So now listen to Grushy, poor use of language. Oh my god, poor Grush. When he's gonna have to take English class or the Keysman is gonna chew him up. So I know we've talked about this before, and I kind of touched on the key points of this meeting. I showed you guys the pictures and I showed you guys the jellyfish video, but I wanted to dive deep ever since it got deleted. I was gonna actually tell you the whole story, but in the middle of me making that video and finding this information out, the account got deleted. Again, luckily someone has taken everything that was said, and I'm going to actually read to you the full account of what went down at this presentation. And I'm going to talk about this because of the congressman we just saw leave the meeting, talking about how Grush's information is being confirmed to them, and talking about interdimensional. Luna kept saying interdimensional, and that is something that is referenced here. So I crave a douche. I can't. Just say it once, but I just did. But you guys are too much. But I want to actually read this to you guys. I want you guys to get the full experience of what happened in this meeting, and you know, I want your opinions. I want to know what you guys think. The chandelier UAP is interesting. Is that the one that looks like the star? That was wild to me. Alright, excuse me. I apologize if I get a little nasally. It's my allergies. 1 second, please. Alright, let's see. I actually went to a private 60-person presentation with David Grush as the speaker. This was mostly all private citizens, as in professors, lawyers, business people, a few scientists, retired military, current FBI, and other government agency members. Okay? Hold on 1 second. I just wanted to see what was next, because I did see someone post some stuff from Florida, and I wanted to show you that. Okay. Where was I? And the other government... In the end, we were allowed to... That's a double there. We were allowed to ask questions. Some asked him about this, and what he said was that he was part... Some asked him about this? Alright, and what he said was that... I don't know, whoever copied this, I'm like, yeah. That he was part of an extremely secret program that had figured out how to track and find UAPs in our atmosphere and near-Earth orbit. He said his op-ed will include much more details regarding this. It was hosted by a Wall Street bigwig and his lawyer friends. It was sort of a small saloon-style town. David also did it for free. Even went as far as to fly into New York City just for this. He had arrived only a few hours beforehand and then left first thing the next day. The idea was to get a group of both skeptics and believers from all these different walks of life for a talk regarding David and the things that he has said. Most of the people that left had left as believers, or at least they believed that David was not lying and that he truly believed everything he was saying. He also mentioned a few other things that I haven't heard him say before, like that he was told about a UAP that was in our possession that had a diameter of around 40 feet, but once you went inside, it was the size of a football field. Again, because this is incredible and crazy, and the TARDIS, a diameter of 40 feet, but once you went inside, it was the size of a football field. That's freaking awesome. They believed that the object was somehow able to manipulate both time and space. He also said that the object was both using and creating energy that was more than a terawatt when measured, which is an absolutely ridiculous amount of power, something along the lines of 1 trillion watts. What? He also mentioned that he had recently been informed that a U.S. adversary was considering full disclosure to get out ahead of the U.S., and that he passed this information along to the United States government. Now, I just want you guys to... We could power the United States. Bro, a terawatt... That's crazy. Okay. He also alluded to... Wait, what? Oh, sorry. Hold on 1 second. Yes. Oh my god. I feel like I'm gonna sneeze and go crazy. I hate allergies. 1 second. Ooh, sorry. And sorry, Chad, I'm not fully caught up because I'm in reading this. All right. He also alluded to the retaliation that WKs had taken against him. Oh, okay, WQs. It sounded pretty terrifying, and he wasn't the only one to be retaliated against. Multiple people involved in not only his investigation, but also his fellow peers in the UAP task force, such as Jay Stratton, were also threatened. He wouldn't go too much into it since it's an open investigation, but these people pretty much showed him that they could touch him and or his family anytime that they wanted. That's actually pretty scary. Aliens versus allergies, who wins? Ah! Oh, the allergies will probably beat my ass before I see the aliens. Alright, he wouldn't go too much into it. It's an open investigation, but these people pretty much they could touch him anytime he wanted. He also mentioned that the U.S. has taken part in a fair amount of crash retrieval since before 1933. Also, that we wouldn't be surprised by what non-human intelligence looks like. This is the part that kind of blew my mind. Such as, they look like the typical gray, and they aren't sure whether these beings or where these beings have come from. There is also a chance that they are extra-dimensional, but that it could also just seem this way because of the technology they use, rather than them being actual extra-dimensional beings. And I think that that's a very important way to word it, because Luna saying interdimensional, I feel like she's heard this or seen this or been a part of a meeting like this with Grush, and that part stuck to her. But he's using non-human intelligence because they could be interdimensional, but it could be just that the technology that they're using makes them seem that way, as opposed to them actually being extra-dimensional beings. I found that wording to be very precise, because as as Representative Luna said, David Grush and everyone is making sure to use precise language to get as much credible and accurate information as possible. So merely saying extraterrestrial isn't enough. Non-human intelligence can encompass extraterrestrial or extra-dimensional. Interestingly, he also mentioned how many people know the full scope of the phenomenon to be no more than 50 people. But it wasn't clear if he meant 50 people currently alive or 50 people ever in history. That's a scary thought. All in all, it was extremely interesting and pretty hopeful for the future of disclosure. This was after the UAP amendment was shut down, and that he believes that we will know much more in the near future. And apparently, it was the only private non-government talk that he has ever done, or he has done so far. As for how I feel about everything after hearing him speak, he is extremely smart. I mean, he has the Qsman would beg to differ. I mean, he has an almost unbelievable memory and knowledge about the intel and laws and other things that have to do with UAPs. My opinion is that he is the real deal, Almost everyone left that night with fully believing what he was saying, or at the very least, that he believed what he was saying as the truth. So either way you cut it, I believe he's telling the truth as he knows it. Huh. What do you guys think about that? I think that that's very, very telling. A Dyson sphere isn't a real thing. No, it's a hypothetical. Oh, okay, Key. Oh yeah, right here. They're demons. I mean, hell, anything's possible. I don't think they are, though, because I feel like if demons would just come into Earth and walk on Earth, they would just do whatever they want. They'd be going crazy. They wouldn't just be like, oh, look at us, but don't really look at us. We're gonna, like, go into the volcano. They'd be doing shit. They'd be wrecking shit. Like, demons are, like, evil. They're supposed to be, like, these evil, horrible things, right? They would be... I mean, granted, we don't know what the hell they're doing. They could be wrecking shit, and we just don't know it. Grace, plural, not grace. Oh, I don't know how he spelled it. I'm just reading this story. The user deleted his account. So the account is now gone, but these are the images from that meeting. I wish that they had taken more images or video, at least. Thousands of people disappear every year. That is very, very true. But, I mean, granted, there's also, like, Bermuda Triangle and, like, people in the woods, and, like, those could be portals to another pocket dimension you don't even know about. So, yeah, I wanted to touch base and kind of give you that in-depth of Grush's meeting so you guys can compare it to the information that we're getting from our congressmen and the information that they're able to tell us so far. Interdimensional, extra-dimensional being a key word that has obviously been coming up for them. 1 second. My God. Goodness. Oh, and my computer's like... Alright, we're gonna tie this up with a bow with an awesome video from the incredible Mr. MBBB33333. You guys put me on to him. And I just want to kind of showcase some of the things here because we had that the alien in Miami, the thing that no one knows what's going on about because they won't release the footage from in the mall for whatever freaking reason. And now Mr. MBB333, I don't know what he actually calls himself, but he excuse me 1 second. I'm so sorry, guys. Okay, we're gonna have to speed this up. I'm so sorry. But he has seen Brain Cloud. It's okay. You can replay it after. He has been receiving UFOs in the Florida sky ever since the alien encounter at the mall. Oh, I'm sorry, the Keysman. All right, let's check this out.
Or Central Florida, literally, it looked like they saw some sort of an invasion. Many people. This is viewer number 9 from North Central Florida, Ryan out of Ocala. January the 10th of 2023 sent in this video and then multiple excellent photos of these mysterious skies above North Central Florida on January the 10th. I've got several photos of this mysterious structure.
When I see stuff like this, I mean...
These 3... received multiple photos from different people that don't know each other.
The clouds are a little crazy. There was another one he had.
The atmosphere through this layer of clouds, and in some cases leaving behind a very noticeable impression in the clouds. Check this out. This photo right here sent in by Ryan.
One had a crazy shape. Where is it? Oh, look right here.
Quite unique. If you look close, you can see all kinds of angles up here in the sky.
Yeah, that was weird to me.
Not look normal. I've highlighted these angles. They are right here, and this is what the craft, or at least the potential craft, looked like that went through the clouds above Ocala, Florida. Look over here on the right-hand side. You're going to see what looks like a wing. It dips down, comes into a V shape in the center, Right there it is. It's undeniable. There was something there in the sky above Ocala, Florida. To me, it looks like the electromagnetic field energy of the craft, giving it the ability to cloak, neutralize the water molecules, leaving behind this temporary shape in the clouds above Ocala, Florida, that was witnessed by Ryan and other people. Ryan's photo showed an incredible outline in the sky. Get a load of that. I mean, how do you deny that? There was something there in the sky.
I gotta take my allergy pills. That means that they, the hours are up. Alright, so more clouds, yes. But there was some weird stuff he did see.
Photo driving down the road, and he
look at these little dudes.
This in the sky. It doesn't appear to be a Chinese lantern. This thing was in the sky.
Apparently it's a zipping.
It was very, very bright. Appeared to be changing colors, kind of rotating. The video footage was over.
Lizard people! God, I love Hecklefish. Hecklefish is incredible.
General altitude for nearly
1 second.
3 minutes. And once again, I condensed these videos. There were 2 videos, totally 2 minutes and 51 seconds, if that would have been
I have like a whole allergy setup. It's so bad. This is how much it kicks my ass. This looks cool, but I remember seeing this. I think this was a rocket launch.
But notice she sent in above North Central Florida once again on January.
We have that red light.
What was going on? Helicopter action.
Yeah, a lot of these are happening January 10th.
The trees when we first started observing this object, it was over here behind it.
But I just thought it was interesting. I don't think, obviously, that they're connected because while we haven't fully debunked the thing at the mall, they're not really giving us information. Let me see what this one is. Yeah, this was a rocket launch that was weird to me. This is the one I saw. Because it, like, shot something off the side, and then the thing that shot out kept going. But, yeah. So, let me, to kind of recap where we were, because I am going to have to go. The computer is dying, and my allergies are about to drop kick me, and I don't want that to be on camera, because it's kind of crazy. The representative, I miss Secure Team 10. I think that they were fun. I think that they had a few iffy moments, but I think that they were fun. Oh, the Black Knight satellite is that's a whole other study too. The thing from Nope, oh my god, 00, that'd be crazy. To recap, today we checked out our congressman coming from a skiff. In the skiff, they got confirmation of a lot of what Grush was saying. Not only did they get that confirmation, but they got more information on who to ask the right questions to, which I love. I feel like we're moving forward on that. We're going to look into this balloon. Actually, let me take a screenshot real quick. We're going to look into this balloon and see if we can decipher if this is something similar to that. This is that jellyfish UAP. Congress right here. I'm going to, this video was compiled, so I'm going to link this in the description after the live stream. In Congress, Luna, I think, was the most interesting, actually coming forward and talking about extradimensional UAP, which led us to David Grush's secret meeting that no one was supposed to know about, that we found out about anyway, in which he mentioned possible extradimensional beings. And we went through that post, which was eventually deleted, but thank God someone had already copied it. And then we started looking at this, and then my allergies started kicking my ass, and you guys are absolutely amazing. Thank you for your patience. I want to quick give a shout out to the members of the channel. Thank you guys for joining. Hans Jensen, Charles Chadwick, Romelo Sorvino, Sean O'Rourke, Nelson Munoz. Thank you guys so much for becoming channel members. I appreciate the support. Remember, you guys don't have to. It's just something awesome with some perks for you guys. So if you want to check out those perks, check them out. Thank you guys so much. Joe Blow, thank you for being here. Human Scourge, Tim R, Gabe Elias, CC777, Top Hat, and T. I didn't see you in here. Welcome. It was an outside job. Joe Blow, I think I mentioned you. The Keysman, always. Thank you. Renee Cruz. The Keysman was in here stirring things up. Snack Entity, CK Explore New York City. Oh, I miss New York City. You guys are absolutely incredible. Oh wait, CK says the our oceans have only 5% explored. Imagine what's in them. That's even crazier. Yarg. Country Boy, Renee, Oki, K. If I missed you guys, I'm sorry. I appreciate all of you guys. Thank you so much for being in the chat. Thank you for being here with me. You guys are so much fun. Thank you for checking this stuff out. I wish this could be a little longer. Maybe when I get better equipment and better medicine. If you're enjoying this or you enjoyed this, please smash that like. It helps the channel a lot. If you want early access to videos or super cool perks, check out the membership. It's a great way to support the channel. Have an amazing, amazing night. If you see anything, send it to me via email. I'm setting up a website for you guys. You are all incredible. Don't let anyone ever tell you that you're not incredible, because you freaking are. I love y'all. Thank you so much for